Hello, hi there, Cancerians. Do hope that you're all gorgeous and well. My name is Bella, and welcome to my channel. This is your love horoscope for March 2019. If you're watching me for the first time, I'm a psychic reader, and if you'd like to know more about me and my services, do look at the links just down below. After this, do comment, do share, do like, do subscribe if you're happy with what I had to say. I'd love to hear from you. So, as most of you know, I do like to just dive straight in with the messages that my spirit guides, because that's how I work, and want to pass their messages to you. And I thought what they had to say to start off with this, and I need to dive into it a little bit more deeper, was really, really beautiful. So they were talking about Cancerians when it comes to love and their decisions when it comes to love, to think outside the box hugely. So, you know, sometimes you can be in situations, and particularly because we're in a Mercury retrograde season where communication can be a bit funny or people start popping back into our lives, it feels to me with you thinking outside the box, because you're being shown like thinking that you're at a crossroads. Do I go left? Do I go right? Do I choose A? Do I choose B? Do I go up? Do I go down? And you thinking that that's the only two options that you have. But there is a third option that perhaps you haven't considered, or maybe you have, but it's unconventional. It's not what somebody would suggest, or it's not normal, or people might question it, or it's a brand new way of thinking about things. That's the option that's been suggested that you take. They're saying here, don't choose A or B, create a new path for yourself, a new trail, Imagine literally that you're at a crossroads and you can see two dirt tracks and then there's a bit of grass in between it. Create your own trail on that grass, basically, outside of the box. They're showing me things like, the first time somebody got in an air balloon and how that must have felt. It's not a conventional way of travel, is it? It's slower. It's, it stands out. Perhaps a little bit dangerous, but it's a different way. It's still a form of of traveling. And as you think of that balloon analogy, it kind of lifts you, doesn't it? And that's what they're saying will happen when you create your own path and not maybe do what you think is right or wrong, to do differently in a set of circumstances when it comes to your love life. So let me try and think of some examples with that. People might say to you, oh, well, you can only meet somebody by either going on a dating site or maybe going to a bar. But maybe you want to stand outside in the street in a t-shirt saying, date me. I'm being flippant, but do you know what I mean? That's outside the box, isn't it? It's different. It is noticeable, but it's still a method, isn't it, of attracting somebody. If you're in a relationship where you're thinking, well, I have to separate or I have to put up with this, perhaps there's a different option that's completely different, that's outside the box, that solves a problem for you in whatever way that is. Do you get me? And that seems to be the theme that's coming up for Cancerians this month. You are faced with a decision, but the decision doesn't have to be black and white. It can be outside of the box. So get your creative thinking caps on. And also, I think a lot of you will know what you're supposed to do, but be like, oh, I can't do that because I'll be embarrassed, or people will tell me off, or I'll be in trouble, or whatever, or people will think I'm weird. So weird is interesting. It's not boring, is it? First, when I look at this and I dig in a little bit deeper, so the first couple of weeks I get, this doesn't seem to apply. You seem to be preoccupied with the routines of life, and figuring out how you just successfully juggle your love life as well as what you do every day. But it's kind of like the second or the third week that this choice is upon you, this situation. And because this is a general reading, I'm being shown loads of different scenarios, so it would be too much and too overloading for me to list every single one of them. But some of the traits, because we are in Mercury retrograde, will be because you're having to deal with difficult communication. You may be having to deal with commitment issues going forward and what you agree to, what you don't agree to. Some of you will be because some people from your past are returning back and you needing to make a decision, just generally. But I have to say there's loads of different threads that will pan out. When you make that decision, think about being an air balloon, a hot air balloon, and how, imagine if you was the actual vessel, how that would make you feel. What are all the words that you would list? I can think of some that would be hot being one, lifted, elated, panoramic. List those things and your decision should be in line with those feelings or those values, no matter how weird or wonderful and creative it is. That will be your true path, your true way forward romantically. And I can only say it like that, which may seem cryptic, but it's the best advice I can give you. And once you hit that road, it's almost like come back again and listen to this, and then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You'll be like, for me, this means I need to do this. Sure, there will be some people that will go, no, you can't do that. You've got to do this. That's a bit weird, don't you think? If they're doing that, that means you've made the right choice. All right? If people are questioning, or your partner is questioning your choice when it comes to love, maybe you've been conditioned that you must, marry somebody of your same culture, and then you're thinking, I don't want to because it's not what I want. And in fact, I'm going to be even more honest because I've been holding something back. I'm going to come out as being bisexual, and I'm now going to move to a completely different location, and I don't know, like, I'm just trying to think weird and wonderful, but it's like it feels controversial in a good way. But if it's raised some controversy, it was certainly the right place and the right direction to go. Which I think for you, Cancerians, you don't normally cause controversy, and maybe that's too much of a stronger word, because it's not that. It's just more like you creating your own path that is unique and different, and maybe, perhaps, inspiring to other people that you did it that way and not the way that apparently you should do it. Do you get me? A little bit like that. So, my lovely people, Cancerians, gorgeous Cancerians, that's the energy and the theme that you need to be thinking about when it comes to your love life for this month. This reading for you in particular has been done in a way that gives you a lot of freedom to explore how you want to create your own personal air balloon. And I can't wait to see all of you in flight and how beautiful that's going to look. Take care, gorgeous Cancerians. I'll be back again next month. Take care.